Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Aliesha, or you can call me Ali, and welcome back. Or hi if you're new here. Oh, hi if you're new here. I do videos on self-love, self-care, and becoming the best version of yourself. So if you love videos like that, go ahead and subscribe, or watch my other content and see if you want to subscribe. And I think it's pretty good, right? But I got some hot cocoa here, and we are here to have a lovely self-love chat, right? We are talking about harsh truths that every woman will learn on their self-love journey. Oh my goodness. Let's get started, girl. So the first harsh truth that I want to talk about is that loving yourself does not equate to loving your looks, okay? This is something that I discovered on my self-love journey, and something that was a little harsh for me, like a harsh revelation for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. When I started, I got super excited about my glow up journey and my self-love journey. Like, I got super excited. I was like, I'm gonna be so pretty, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, I did this, I'm gonna walk in a room and look so good and do this and do that. So I just hit the ground running, girl. I started working on my makeup skills, I started working on my hair. As I was doing these things, I did like how I saw my hair growing, I saw myself doing really well at my makeup, but I still felt deeply insecure, to be completely honest with you. I still felt like I had healing to be done. And that's when I realized that self-love was deeper than just loving your looks. I think society kind of tells us if we like our looks, or we, I don't know, get a bunch of compliments or maybe a bunch of likes, like the external things, that we should like ourselves or we should love ourselves. But that doesn't equate to self-love. You know why? Because you can very much be a beautiful woman, right? But still lack in having standards, lack in treating yourself well, lack in caring for yourself. Maybe you neglect yourself a lot. You can still do those things. You could still be a beautiful woman and not see your worth for what it truly is, and you could still be struggling immensely with insecurities and self-love, all because self-love does not have to do with your looks, right? I know people tell us that, and I will never sit up here and tell you that looks don't matter, of course. Like, when you look good, you feel good, of course, but when I was starting my self-love journey, I quickly realized that no amount of makeup, no amount of growing out my hair or wearing wigs or wearing lashes made me feel better about myself. It wasn't until I cracked down on the root cause of why I was feeling deep insecurities that actually made me become the woman I am today, who's very strong in her self-love, but I had to dig deep within the inner qualities. And I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. Not only that, but healing. There are parts of your childhood that have shaped you into thinking things about yourself and you don't even realize. And if you have not healed from those things, of course you're gonna be insecure. Of course you're not gonna like yourself, because there are things that you have gone through that you don't even realize aided in how you viewed yourself. When you come out into the world, you don't automatically think, oh my God, I'm so ugly. Oh my God, my personality sucks. Oh my God, this, that, and the third. No, somebody told you that, or maybe you saw it in the media, or lack of representation of what you looked like in the media. You have to literally strip yourself away from other people and their thoughts and their opinions, and you have to start building on your viewpoints. You have to become your own beauty standard, right? And that was a harsh truth that I had to realize. I spent a lot of time after I discovered that self-love wasn't in my looks. I spent a lot of time crying. I spent a lot of time healing. I spent a lot of time digging up my past and wondering, okay, what happened in my past to make me look at myself as not valuable? I spent a lot of time doing that, but through that, I learned to accept and love myself, because loving yourself is about acceptance. Loving yourself is about giving yourself love. It's about pouring into yourself, no matter what you look like that day. Because if you love yourself based on changes, you're going to look at yourself at 60 years old and be like, I can't love myself because I have wrinkles. Baby, should you love yourself any less because you have changed? Change is inevitable, okay? love yourself anyway. The next harsh truth that I had to learn on my self-love journey was that there is always going to be something to work on. At one point where you have worked on your standards, right? And you think it's going so well and you have learned all this knowledge, and then something happens and then you realize, oh my god, I need to work on it a little bit more. I thought I was actually past this. Or maybe you get triggered, you wasn't all the way healed on your healing journey, right? Or maybe a different scenario where it's like you have worked on your standards and you have impeccable standards, but now you realize, oh my god, I have to work on my self-trust, or oh my god, I want to work on my physical glow up, or oh my god, I have to work on my habits. Okay, self-love is a never-ending wheel, right? Healing is a never-ending wheel. And I don't want to say this to like discourage anybody, but to understand that you are going to always be a work in progress, and that is okay. Becoming the best version of yourself isn't overnight. It isn't an overnight thing, you know? It's about going into and trying to see like what your higher self is and actually going after that, you know, becoming that. But it's not going to be perfect, you know? And you're going to always have something to work on. And I say this so you don't be hard on yourself, like, oh my god, I thought I was past this. Oh my god, I thought, like, you know, when you say all these things to yourself, you start to put yourself down, and it's like, girl, you know, there's always something to work on in your self-love journey. But what I find comforting is that eventually you do get to a point where you discover that you are handling a situation better than your old self would have, you know, but it just takes time, you know. And when you do surpass something, when you do get something, right, don't always rush to the next thing to work on, you know. Enjoy those slow moments, enjoy the season that you're in. The next revelation or harsh truth that I had to realize is that some people won't want you to change, okay? I actually experienced this, not a lot. I have had friends and family that were okay with my change, but I have experienced a couple people that are no longer my friends, that when I started changing, I felt like they were trying to hold me to a certain narrative. They would always bring up my past self. It's almost like they're trying to be like, no, 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 no. You can't change. You can't evolve. Stop trying to be somebody new, you know? The thing is some people are just afraid of change, right? There are some people that are just afraid of change, but then there are also some people that don't want to see you change. There are people that are so used to seeing you a certain way, and they're like, well, why is she dressing like that now? Or why is she looking like that now? Or why she's doing this? But then you also have to realize that there are also people out there that will still love you for you. There are friends out there that will still love you for you. People that don't want to see you change are not your real friends, right? You should change anyway, okay? So if you had wearing the outfits you want to wear, you're doing your makeup differently and your hair differently, and you're just going out in public and you're feeling confident about yourself, do not let somebody bring you back down into what you used to be like, right? Or do not let somebody like humble you, you know? You have changed for a reason. You have started to love yourself for a reason, and you should be proud of that. No matter what, I really encourage you to keep going on your glow up / self-love healing journey, okay? You should not be holding yourself to an own narrative. It was definitely a harsh truth to swallow, was that there were some people that didn't want to see me change, but then there were also times where myself was scared to change and I was scared to evolve, and I really had to do some self-healing through that, and honestly let certain people go that didn't want to see me grow, but also do some self-healing with myself. What made me feel like I couldn't change or love myself or glow up or, you know, heal and be the best version of myself, right? I had to really dig these things up. And the next one is going to piggyback off of this one, is people will try to humble you. Once you learn how to love yourself, once you put more attention towards yourself, once you put more love and self-care into yourself, once you start displaying your confidence, there are people out there that will try to humble you. One thing I've learned is everybody loves an insecure person. When you are sitting there talking down on yourself or feeling bad, everybody's like, oh, it's okay, you're not this, you're not that. You know, they try to like uplift you, right? But then the moment you get some confidence, the moment they see it, and maybe you're not even saying that you're confident, you're not even complimenting yourself for real. Like, they just see that you have impeccable posture, or you just carry yourself a certain way. There are people that will sit up there and try to humble you, and try to kind of bring you down a couple notches. Say that they love a confident person, but once you become confident in yourself, there are people that will try to bring you down. It's not everybody. Like I said, it's not a lot of people. That's another harsh truth that I had to realize, is that, you know, you want to keep people in your circle that will encourage you to grow, that will encourage you to be the best version of yourself. The next harsh truth is that healing isn't linear. This is a really harsh one, I think, because when you are learning to love yourself, when you're healing from your past experiences, you think that everything is going good, and then the next day something could trigger you, something could make you feel bad about yourself. Something about your past comes back up, and you start to be like, dang, I took 5 steps forward, I'm taking 8 steps back, you know. And one thing I had to realize is that healing isn't linear. Healing isn't a straight line. You know, when you start on your healing journey, you really do think like everything's gonna be okay. But there are some moments that do trigger you, that make you still feel bad about yourself, that you are still trying to grasp. To think like I had to be fully healed to go out and do certain things. And yes, I had to be healed to a certain extent, but that didn't mean that I had to stop myself from doing things that I wanted to do just because I wasn't healed, you know. There are times where I do think that you need to sit out things to heal and stuff, but you don't have to be 100% healed in order to experience new things or go out and do the things that you feel like you can't do, right? Honestly, a lot of the healing is in your action. So yes, a lot of healing is sitting in your emotions and feeling your emotions. A lot of healing is also through actions, you know. Once you start seeing yourself do certain things, you start to get more confidence, you know, it starts to get better, right? So healing isn't linear. You don't have to go out and be 100% every day. And although you won't be 100% every day, but just know to keep going and know that it is okay. Next harsh truth, and this is something I really had to come to terms with, is that you are gonna start losing people and things. When I started to raise my standards, when I started to love myself a lot more, I started to lose people out the woodworks and lose things. Like, I just started to lose, especially things. I was like, what? But then I realized that I had to lose them in order to get something better, you know? But at the time I was like, why is this leaving? Some things automatically left my life like this, like I didn't have to do anything. But then there were also some things that I had to remove myself when I realized, like, girl, why did you even like want this experience back then, right? And then I just removed it, and I was like, I want something different. Like, I want something more, you know? And honestly, it's a good thing, but it definitely feels like a harsh truth at the time when things start like leaving. You were like, oh my god. But it's honestly a sign that you are raising your standards and your boundaries, and you are just becoming a better you, and you are actually doing really well in your self-love journey. And that's what I found to be true on mine. Like, when I lost things and then they were replaced with something better, I was like, oh snap. I'm growing. The next harsh truth that I realized is that you are not perfect, right? And sometimes you were the toxic one. Sometimes you were the one that was playing victim, and you cannot expect anybody else to take you out of your situation. You have to be the one to save yourself. And this was a harsh truth that I realized, was that I'm not perfect, you know. I was toxic at times. I was playing victim at times. I think when you start healing and glowing up, you realize, oh my god, I was the only one stuck in my way, right? I think when you start healing and everything, you realize, like, I was the one that was keeping myself stuck, you know. It's actually a really great revelation to have. It's kind of a harsh truth to look within yourself and be like, dang, I'm not perfect, you know, I have toxic traits, I have things that I still have to work on. But it is also a good thing, because it really does put you in the direction of where you need to go, right? So once I realized that I was the one that wasn't perfect, and I was the one that was stepping in my own way, I started to change a lot of things about me. And that's not to say that I'm perfect now. I'm not at all. But that's the beauty of self-love, is knowing that you're not perfect, and knowing that you won't be perfect and nobody's perfect, but that's okay. You just learn that you are a work in progress and you love yourself anyway, right? And there are going to be times where you have to hold yourself accountable to the things that you do. And the last harsh truth, oh my goodness, is sometimes you heal a little too much, okay? Woof. Healing can be kind of lonely, okay? It can be, right? You up your standards, you up your boundaries, right? And then you lose things, you lose people, and then you actually come to terms with it and you're like, you know what? I feel really comfortable with myself. I love spending time with myself. It really becomes to that point where you're like, you know what? I don't want anybody in my space. Sometimes you do heal a little too much, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing because you kind of let the people that are not supposed to be there, whether it's a guy or friends that weren't really your friends in the first place, the people that weren't supposed to be there, they kind of exit your life, right? But you don't want to get too comfortable in your own company. But I'm not gonna lie, I love spending time with myself. I really do. But I always have to remember that, girl, you actually feel good when you go out and you have friends and you make friends and you go out with your friends and you have fun. You feel equally as good. It's a version of self-care. So yeah, it's all about finding a balance. Yeah, those are all the harsh truths. I hope you enjoyed this cozy self-love chat video. Let me know if you have any other videos that you want to see down below. We are still going with Vlogmas. I know it's after Christmas. This was actually supposed to go up yesterday, but the audio was terrible. Oh my god, it was terrible. So I'm redoing it and hopefully it sounds a lot better. But I will be back tomorrow and we are going to be doing Vlogmas up until New Year, I believe, because I got 5 other videos that I have still filmed, or 4, 5 or 4, I don't know. But I will see you tomorrow and I hope you have a great day. Bye.